So what I really like about this anime, Beast Tamer, is that eventually, the heroes party will realize how much, like who they lost. Like we heard from the Beast Tamer, they hired temporarily, but he ended up failing. Was that no Beast Tamer can, tame or temporarily tame more than two animals per contract, and it makes the at least one of the members think like, oh, maybe he wasn't that useless, because I remember he could like contract 10 animal more than an animal at the time, and he actually helped us, and he they just realized how special he was and that they lost him. But one of the members is stubborn and kind of refuses to acknowledge that, oh, no, she must be lying, Rain he was useless and everything. So it'll be very exciting to get to hear them, realize how special Rain was and how they treated him and everything. But the other thing I also want to mention was there's a lot of I noticed that in this episode there's a lot of discrimination between the higher class and the lower class, because as Rain and Kanade, I guess, they were expecting knights to come and deal with the bandits, because they do that. But instead, a bunch of adventurers came and told them, like, oh, the knights think they're too good for them to handle this problem. Like, they're too good to handle bandits. They only want to handle, like, real threats, like, a monster attack outside the village, or, something major. So, yeah. So I think, like, the heroes party, there's a lot of discriminatory just because, Rain was a beast tamer. Everyone in the heroes party, they thought of him as useless. And even in this episode, the two people that were supposed to go and actually help are actually ones, they're just greeting the nobles, while the other two are scourging to make pocket money. And what I really found um, funny was that um, when when the tamer went to rescue the old man because he was getting harassed by these bandits, he said, "Oh, I hired, two bodyguards before," and we come to find out that the two bodyguards he hired were actually those two members, the healer and the magician from the heroes party. And he was like, yeah, they just ran away because they saw they were at a disadvantage. And I don't know, I just find that kind of funny that they would run away. And he explains, like, yeah, they pretty much ran away. That's why I don't have any bodyguards. So yeah. But then from there, the Beast Tamer, I forgot his name, but him and Kanade decide to capture all of them. And then the whole problem with the knights appear, and the adventurers appear instead. And and then Kanade and the Beast Tamer end up holding down and being able to defeat these large monsters that the bandits had, King Lizard, and it's just very, very satisfying to know that how they treated him in the heroes party. And for them, they'll they started slowly realizing, but they'll realize it more, that we actually needed Rain with us. Like, he wasn't as useless as we thought. And I think it'll just be very satisfying when they finally notice they go up, they're like, hey Rain, we're sorry how we treated you and everything, we want you back. Then it'll be very satisfying when Rain says, no, I want to be my own adventure, and yeah, and just decline their offer, and just to see their faces, because they really do deserve it. To me, they're a bunch of douchebags. Like, you know, they won't help a person just because they're useless, just because like there's nothing for them, or a bunch of arrogance, I'd call them. But the more satisfying thing was that when in the beginning, kind of mentioned that every time, when you do a contract with an alternate species like myself, the the contractor actually gets, the same physical abilities as me. So he has, the same strength as a cat spirit, which is, enough to, more than a regular human. But it'll be interesting because we saw earlier that, well, if you saw the opening and everything, he does end up having contracts with multiple special species, like the fairies, the fox spirit, and like I think like the dragon girl, whatever. And just be very interesting, like, since the strength is shared with the contractor, will the strength, pile up on top of the cat spirit, or is it like a situation where the strongest ability is gonna be like the only one that the contractor has, like, because he can only have one? But yeah, it was very entertaining to see them find out that, oh, Rain wasn't that useless, that like the failed beast tamer said, it's normal for beast tamers to only contract one or two at a time. But if you contract like more like 10 like Rain does, that means like your nerve will like burn out because too much. And they just start to slowly realize that Rain was actually someone special. He could do something that normal beast tamers couldn't. And yeah, I just think it'll be very entertaining to see when they, realize that, because now they're like rejecting it, but eventually they'll have to acknowledge that. And yeah, it'll just be entertaining. But yeah, I think that's gonna be enough for me. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts and opinions. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.